Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Homer High School and our high school spring instrumental concert. I'm Jim McGorry, the vice principal. On behalf of Mr. Bennett and I, welcome. Before we get started, just a couple housekeeping items. In case we need to evacuate the auditorium, we do have two exits, one on stage right and stage left, and then we have two exits in the back. If you're up top, we have two side doors to each side of you. One of my favorite part of the mornings is first period because I walk around the building and I spend a little extra time down near the band room because we have our talented musicians that are sitting in front of you playing every morning. And it's really a great way to start your day, especially on a Friday when you're just pushing to the end of the week. So our kids have been working extremely hard. I know Mr. D's been working extremely hard. And we're starting off with our jazz ensemble. So I'm going to turn things over to Mr. D. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy our show.
great. Thank you. That was absolutely Chris. We have a special guest in the audience tonight. Many of you may remember Greg Wakeman, who did the jazz band here before myself. And that was a piece that he kind of found. And I was going through our files, and I was like, oh, this is a good piece. Like, I remember this one. So anyway, yeah, a lot of 16th notes. Funk thing is a lot of 16th notes. Really, you're not just aiming for the beat, you're aiming for like quarters of the beat. So our next piece is Jive for 5, and not to be confused with the famous Dave Brubeck song Jive at 5. So this is just a classic blues piece, and we've been kind of studying the changes for blues, and we kind of practice blues every week. And the hardest part about this, the tune is actually pretty easy. It's just getting people to step up and take solos on it. That's a little tougher. Oh, by the way, how about an extra quick hand for Morgan and Nick on that last one? Yeah. Absolutely. Yep. Hardest part about the improv solos is this, raising your hand and say, I'll do one. So we actually have quite a few people doing this one, Jive at 5. Yeah, so blues, like the most iconic American jazz thing that we have here is, yeah, this blues thing. So, yeah, we spent a while doing the improv. We have 7 soloists right now who are going to play for you. Many of them are doing a solo for the very first time. Maybe some of you remember Mr. Forrester, who was my student teacher. And he's at Tully right now, and they actually have jazz band rehearsal. They may be watching the live stream because he's doing the same thing with them right now, doing a very standard blues, trying to get people to take improv solos. And if Tully's watching, shout out to them. And if they're not watching, shout out to them anyway. So, all right. So, yeah, we have a lot of first-time soloists. Let's see what happens. You never know until it starts. So this is Jive at 5. Great. How about an extra hand for all of our soloists? I'm going to give a special shout out to David on bass, who is doing solo, and he just always playing. So you didn't know it was a solo, but we don't have. I know we need more rhythm sections. So yes, David on bass. Thank you. Absolutely. Stop being so modest. All right. So our next piece is called "The Night with a Thousand Eyes." It was originally written for a film back in 1948. And it became a big hit for Bobby V in the 60s, 1962. And the interesting thing about this is that if you look this tune up on YouTube, it would sound nothing like what we're going to play right now. So this is a nice, easy Latin piece. And yeah, the original, if you listen, is kind of doo-woppy. It's like fast and doo-woppy. And this is just a nice Latin one. It has really good interplay between all of the sections. And we're splitting up the sections into groups of saxes and groups of trumpets and all the rhythm section too. This will have a trombone solo in it by Sean, and Jane, who injured her finger tonight, closed it in the door. Isn't that always the way on concert night? But Jane is going to tough it out, and we will also have a solo about Jane too. All right, so our next piece, we don't do this very often. We're kind of rather blessed here. A lot of the kids do band and choir both. So we have a lot of choir kids who also do band. And as a result, we have a lot of very well-rounded musicians. And this is going to be no exception. So this is the classic West Side Story song, Somewhere. This is arranged for jazz band. Like Absolute Chris, it has a ton of 16th notes. So lots of concentration for this. This is going to be a little extra difficult because we have not had a sound man before, so we're just trying this for the first time in our auditorium with a microphone. Let's see here. Just to give you an idea of the complexity of this tune, I'm playing in a band. We are doing a 10-day tour of Italy this summer, and we are playing the exact same arrangement as professional group. So the exact same arrangement that the big boys are playing, we are playing right now. And this is going to feature somebody who actually knows how to use a microphone, Morgan Robidoux, on voice. You can keep it.
There's a place for us, somewhere a place for us, peace and quiet and open air, wait for us somewhere. There's a time for us, someday a time for us, time together with time to spare, time to learn, time to care. Someday, somewhere, we'll find a new way of living. We'll find a way of forgiving somewhere. There's a
Morgan Robidoux. All right. This happens just by chance. It happens to be another piece that we're doing on our grand tour of Italy this summer. Not Homer Jazz Band myself personally, so unfortunately, maybe next year. But this is a classic tune by Don Menza entitled Groovin' Hard. Unlike the last one, this one needs to be watered down a little bit from the big boy version, but it's still really good. It's going to feature our amazingly immense sax section. So we finally found a good outlet for them. Let's see here. I had all these really good notes. I'm just totally not even using them. Oh, okay. So I have a formula for jazz band that we do. So, you know, I have my Latin piece, we have our ballad piece, we have a blues swing piece. So this comes out of the category of if you play in jazz band, you should know this song category. That's the category this one's in. Kind of like if you were here last year, Sing, Sing, Sing. Another one of those classic tunes that you should know if you play in jazz band. So without any further ado, this is Groovin' Hard by Don Menza. Great. Our last tune is one I'm sure most of you recognize by Chicago, written in 1970, 25 or 6 to 4. As soon as we did a lot of reading at the start, just kind of picking out what we'd be doing for the year, and this was like instantly the favorite thing ever in the whole world. So I thought it would get tackled if we didn't program it tonight. So we are programming it tonight. Yes, it's kind of a nice piece. We have a little bit of improvising in it. It kind of gives the lower voices, the bari sax and trombone players, a little to do that they don't usually. So it's kind of nice to have them do some melody. Just a little FYI, 25 or 6 to 4, just so you know, if you're a Chicago fan, is actually the answer to a question of another tune that Chicago did entitled, Does Anybody Really Know What Time It Is? So if somebody knows that tune, and if you think of it as a question, does anybody really know what time it is? And the answer to that would be 25 or 6 to 4 o'clock. So just so you know, a little history there. So. All right, Chicago, 25 or 6 to 4. We have a little bit of time in between jazz band and concert band while we just do a little bit of setup, mostly moving the drum set on stage, and we'll get right underway here. Homer High School Jazz Band, thank you very much. And I'm going to turn this over for a moment just so you're not totally bored while we switch out over to Mrs. Bowens, another person that can use the microphone better than myself. So Mrs. Bowens, thank you.
Good evening, my name is Sarah Bowens. I'm here representing the Homer Music Boosters. Many of you have heard my spiel that there is a Music Boosters and that we support the students from pre-K all the way through 12th grade. I thought I'd tell you just a little bit about what we've done this year. We started a new partnership with Mr. Lisi, the athletic director, Mr. Dolson, the business teacher, Mr. Van Etten, to help keep the concession stands stocked, staffed, and open for events on the Butts field. Hopefully you've noticed the difference. It's still a work in progress, but hopefully better than it was. We've spent $3,000 on instruments and other things that help the teachers that they didn't have in their budget. We had cabaret, which many of you were at and got to see these students perform. They haven't talked about it here, but last night at the intermediate and junior high band concert, they were talking about all the students who performed in NISMA, and many of these students did also. The Music Boosters buys the pins that is kind of like the reward for NISMA. We have a cannon bottle trailer that's between the tennis courts and the maintenance building. Please feel free to add your cans and bottles there anytime. If you're interested in getting involved, talk to Mr. D, talk to KB, they know how to get a hold of us. One thing that I did want to make sure that you are aware of, and Mr. D will be sending it out shortly, on Tuesday, I'm just making sure I have the right date, Tuesday, May 30th at 6:30 p.m. is our annual Music Boosters Banquet. And anyone in 9th through 12th grade who's involved in band or choir or drama is welcome to join us with their families. We have a meal. Kids are awarded prizes. I don't know if this is a secret, but the 9th graders are awarded a prize that says, "Congratulations, you made it through your freshman year." The seniors are awarded scholarships. It's a great night. We get to hear a little bit of music and see some special awards. We would like you to come. It's free. We do ask that you make a donation to help cover the cost of food, but we'd love to have you all there. It is RSVP, so we know how much food to make sure that we have. So talk to Mr. D about it or wait until he sends out the parent square, but we'd love to see you there. Thank you very much.
right, so we are going to start our program tonight with a piece by Gustav Holst, who is one of the most revered composers for wind band, he's credited for writing the first actual concert piece for band, something nice other than a march for us to play. So through movies and television, you probably know a lot about the Greek gods, Zeus, Aphrodite, Hades, Athena, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What you may not know is that the Romans had most of those same gods, but they renamed them after the planets. So we are playing a piece called Jupiter, but it's not about necessarily the planet Jupiter so much as it is about the god Jupiter. He would be akin to Zeus, and he is ruler of all the gods and all the planets. His personality consists of gambling and merrymaking. That's what you do when you're the king. That's a nice life if you're the king. So the outer melodies of the song kind of reflect that merrymaking and maybe what the court life may have looked like if you were Jupiter. In the middle of the song, we have a very noble tune that can only be described as fit for a king. It doesn't rush, it's slow, and it's grand. And I think you're going to appreciate this superb work, Jupiter. Great. So this next piece is a piece that apparently I'm the only one, only as a band director, I'm the only one that doesn't know this piece. I know it now, but 6 months ago I didn't know it. And our music department shadowed our counterparts at FM, in the FM school district, and their band was playing this piece. They go, oh, this is a neat piece. And it's like, yeah, it's a classic. I'm like, oh, I didn't know it, so anyway. Anyway, so after hearing it, you're like, oh, this would be a great band for our piece. It's, complex enough. It's got some good melodies, and it's very gettable. So, this is Symphonic Overture by Charles Carter. I think I got everything in. I think we're about set, so let's just do that. right, this wasn't intended. When I just realized this as I was doing the program notes for this, that we have kind of another God theme going here with the spirit of Orpheus. I will try to tell you this story, but I will also tell you that I scored a 98 on my Latin Regents. I got all the grammar right, and I missed 2 points on the mythology, so I will carry on anyway. I became the subject of many years of Latin classes to follow. Make sure you study your mythology. So anyway. The story for sorry, Mrs. Coleman. All right. Anyway, the story for this, Orpheus was a musician who had magical skill. He could charm trees, rocks, rivers, stones, animals, and he was the son of Calliope, who was the muse of poetry. Orpheus married the nymph Eurydice, and she was bitten on the heel by a snake and died shortly thereafter. So her grieving husband followed her down to Hades, down into the depths, and charmed the deities into releasing her by playing his lyre for them. So the Spirit of Orpheus was composed as a tribute to the musicians, past and present, of the Phi Mu Alpha Symphonia, which is the world's largest and oldest fraternal society of music. So this is a great piece written by Robert W. Smith entitled The Spirit of Orpheus. Okay, so we are now going to take just a moment to honor our seniors. This is one of my favorite parts of the year and also one of my least favorite parts of the year, seeing as, I mean, if you think, especially like freshmen, parents of the freshmen, how many things we've done just this last month musically. If you think about like that times 4 school years, you get really close to these kids, and it's really nice to see them grow up, and it's also a little bittersweet at the same time. So what I'm going to do is kind of talk about each one. Seniors, just a reminder, if you guys could stand when I'm saying nice things about you, and stay standing till I say nice things about everybody. So we're going to start in the back. We'll work from back to front, and we're going to start with Nate McMullen, who is running back and forth, making sure everything is just so. We will miss him for that next year. Of course, I didn't bring my glasses for this, so I will try to persevere. So Nate is going next year. He's attending college at Alfred State. His favorite song performed in high school, Polar Express, Pirates, anything Disney-themed, Nate is there. Words of wisdom to the underclassmen under him. If you have enough time to do it fast once, you have time to do it again right the second time. All right, and also in percussion section, Caleb Fici. Caleb moved to the district in 10th grade and is just phenomenal. I wish he was staying another couple of years. So Caleb, after high school, is going to be studying physics. His favorite piece performed in high school is Incredibles and St. Patrick's Muse, which we did at the winter concert. That was a great one, too. I'm with you there. And words of wisdom, go to sleep. Get more sleep, maybe. All right. And now working away again back to front, Brennan Clune. Brennan started playing trumpet, correct me, from 9th grade, right? Was Brennan's first year of playing trumpet, so it's never too late to start an instrument. Let's see, plans after high school, get his EMT. What does that say after that? Certification, cert. All right, so there we go, cert. EMT cert, certification, and yes. And let's see, favorite song performed in high school is Aladdin, Words of Wisdom, Such is Life. All right. On my side over here, Jonah Campos. Yay, Jonah. So Jonah will be studying applied math next year at Lemoyne College. Favorite song in high school is also Incredibles. And what did you have for the jazz one? Groovin' Hard. All right, of course, Groovin' Hard. Yes. And words of wisdom, try to remember your lessons. That is a good one. That's a great message to pass on to everybody else. Remember your lessons. Stay standing, Jonah. All right. Yes. All right. Heading back to the trumpet section because I put my sheets out of order. Morgan Robidoux. Who will probably now go down in YouTube fame after tonight. So, all right. Morgan is attending SUNY Cortland next year to study media production. Her favorite songs performed in high school or Christmas festival, and any musical movie medleys. So that is great. All right. Words of wisdom. Be involved. Being busy is worth it. If you look on stage, I think a lot of people are heeding that advice. Everybody on the stage pretty much is very involved in Homer High School. Cammie Cole. Cammie is attending Utica University next year for psychology, child life psychology. Her favorite song performed in high school, The Complete Harry Potter. And then I see some alumni in the audience. I know that was also your favorite too. Words of wisdom. Oh, this is a good one. Don't play after Mr. D cuts you off. In our saxophone section, Molly Gallagher. And Molly will also be attending SUNY Cortland next year to study outdoor recreation and natural resources. Her favorite song performed in high school is the one we're going to do next, The Lion King. And her words of wisdom, oh, I so wish I brought my glasses. Picture, let's see. Oh, practice like you've never won and perform like you've never lost. All right, and right next to her, Jane Gugerty. Jane is studying plant science next year at Cornell University. Also, her favorite song was The Incredibles as well. And let's see, words of wisdom. Do your homework at home and not in the school bathroom. Parentheses, not from personal experience. Right next to Jane, we have Erin Lenner. Erin will also be staying close to home, attending Syracuse University, majoring in logistics in international relations. Wow, okay. I don't even know what that is, so that's cool. Favorite song in high school is actually one of my favorite songs that we did recently, Metroplex. And Words of Wisdom is a really good one, Follow Your Heart. And almost right next to Erin, Leah Bowens. Leah will also be attending SUNY Cortland next year for some kind of science. What kind of science, Leah? Exercise science. That's what I thought it said. You know, I talk to these kids extensively, and I just forget as soon as they tell me almost. It's so sad. All right, anyway. Favorite song performed in high school is Korean folk song. That is a great one. Words of wisdom, go to lessons. That's another one. Go to lessons. Yes, it's better than having to make them up. And last but certainly not least, in our front row, Nick Crewman. And Nick is going to college at SUNY Binghamton. What are you studying, Nick? I don't know yet. Okay, well, that's fair enough. So you go to these things. Favorite song performed in high school, one of my close personal favorites, Star Wars. Words of wisdom, practice before your lesson. I promise it will help you. All right. And yes, let's hear for all of our seniors. We wish them luck. And extend an open invitation anytime they are in the vicinity. Have a seat, guys. Thank you very much, and great luck to you. All right. Really quickly, I also need to do some thank yous before we wrap up the night here. I've been trying to do this person first because I've forgotten them so often in the past. So big thanks to Zach Sovacool. Zach in the sound booth up there doing sound lights. Yeah. Making everything we do on stage just that much better. Thanks for the incredible family, administration, and teaching staff and custodial staff for their support of music and these great kids behind me. Also, thank you to you, the parents. I know it's been a pretty rough month as springs go, trying to get your kids every place they need to be. And like I said, most of these kids, in addition to all the music things we're doing right now, they're also at least 2/3 of the kids are involved in sports. So you are busy people this time. You're getting kids where you need to go and organizing their lives for them, which, believe me, they need. So. All right. And obviously, the biggest thanks goes to these terrific kids behind me. We have had a terrific year of music making. I've really enjoyed the freshman class in particular. Have come so far this year. Yes, shout out to the freshmen. Yes. And we just come so far this year, and I really consider this one of the finest bands that we've had here in quite a while, so is this a really excellent year. We are going to end our program with selections from The Lion King. Obviously, you know the music. It will be lovely. I just want to give a quick shout out to our arranger for this tune, Calvin Custer, who was a longtime pianist and assistant conductor and arranger for the Syracuse Symphony. He died rather quickly in 1998, but I got to know him rather well before that, having played a lot of gigs with him. And just an amazing musician. Like, I've never met anybody like this person. He played every instrument in the orchestra extremely well. Like, he could sit in as a sub for most of the instruments in the orchestra, which is probably one of the reasons he's such a great arranger. He was versed in like every style you can think of, and sometimes he takes a simple medley and can make it stretch out into a 10-minute song just by doing it like every style you can think of. I actually played more jazz gigs with him than classical ones with the orchestra. So if you knew anything about Calvin, he was extremely detail-oriented, which is probably why he got to be such a fine musician, and very thorough. And this medley is no exception to that. It is lifted right off the soundtrack. It is amazingly done and amazingly orchestrated for band. And we're going to end our program with Lion King. Thank you for coming tonight. We have a lot of things coming up, as you can see in your program. Next Wednesday is the choral concert, and there are a lot of other concerts in the district too. Please go and see them and support all of our musicians throughout the district. Have a great night and a great spring. Thank you very much. How about some light, Zach?